Hi, I'm Erin, and this week I tried mindful walking. So I have been pretty nervous about jumping back into regular life with school starting up again. So for those of you who don't know, I work part-time in a local high school, and then I'm also working on my master's. So both the high school and then my classes that I take all started up this week. So I've been pretty nervous about it. I thought mostly what I was nervous about was, going back into the swing of things and backsliding, undoing all the progress that I've made over the past 6 months of quarantine. I guess I was worried because I've been doing so well in quarantine, and there are just elements about quarantine and the things that I've learned and done in the past 6 months that I worry will be hard for me to maintain with going back to a normal schedule and back to the regular stresses of everyday life. And looking back, I think that stress was more than just worrying about, I'm gonna backslide. I think I've been genuinely anxious and scared about going back and getting back into things, But I didn't realize just how stressed out I was until I realized, oh my gosh, I'm binge eating. I've started binge eating again. So when I caught myself doing that, right, going for a late night snack and then finishing that and being like, oh, I'll have something else, right? I'm like, okay, I'm on a dangerous, slippery slope here, right? This is the precipice of what I did not want happening. So Monday, when I started back to work at the high school, my school had organized for the faculty and the staff and everybody, if they wanted to go to the Ogden Botanical Gardens to do some professional development and learn about mindfulness and mindful walking. And so I wasn't planning on going to this, and I kind of tongue-in-cheek was telling my friends and my family about it, right? Oh, we're gonna go mindful walking, right? But as I started realizing how stressed out I was and how anxious I really was, I was like, okay, I need to, drop my defenses and quit, using sarcasm and stuff as a way to try and cope with this. And I need to really actually try and deal with this and what I'm feeling and this anxiety. And so I got up early in the morning on Monday and I went to the Ogden Botanical Gardens. So we did some training. I won't bore you with the school stuff, right? But a couple things I did want to share is we did some mindful breathing exercises. The woman who was teaching us this, she works at the same school that I do, but she taught us this 5-minute mindfulness breathing exercise where you can just kind of connect with yourself, with your body, right? Become grounded and centered to tackle whatever you need to tackle. And so breathing exercises were really good. And then we had the chance to do some mindful walking around the botanical gardens, which it was so pretty. I started off in the rose gardens. There was a gardener in there and he had some kind of jazzy music playing, and that was really relaxing. I really like rose gardens and smelling roses and things like that. There were bees in the flowers and the roses, which, I didn't bother them and they didn't bother me, but I didn't stick my nose in the flowers to smell them. But as we were walking around, our instructional coach just advised us to have the thought in our minds, I have arrived, and to really try and be mindful and present in the moment and not worrying about the past or what's coming next, what's going to happen in the future. And she quoted Lao Tzu, which is actually one of the philosophers that I've been reading. I have his book. He's like an ancient Chinese philosopher, and so I've been reading through some of his things. But she quoted him saying that when we are feeling regret, we're living in the past, and when we're anxious, we're living in the future, and when we're at peace, we're living in the moment. And so that's what she invited us to do in this mindful walking. So that's what I tried to do, right? I have arrived and just appreciate the moment that I'm in right now. So that was really good for me because I tend to worry a lot about the future. I like to be overly prepared for everything, right? Any contingency that might happen. But when you're always worrying about what could happen or what's going to happen in the future and how can I prepare and what can I be doing now, right? That your body is just like living on adrenaline and cortisol, and it stresses you out, right? Like that's stressful to always be amped up worrying about what's going to happen in the future, and it's exhausting to keep it up. So I really enjoyed this mindfulness walk, and it was a really good way to start off the week for me. I mean, it's Friday when I'm filming this, so I survived the first week. I feel like it's been good for me to slow down, and in some ways I kind of like sped up during quarantine a little bit, right? By, you know, getting in this exercise schedule and losing all this weight and focusing my energies on that. And now I need to figure out the new balance, right? The new norm. I think it also helps that I'm not teaching this semester, because as much as I enjoyed teaching and enjoyed the students and interacting with them, I think it was too much. And I think it would definitely be too much now. I was talking to one of my friends this week, and I told her, you know, she asked how I was doing, and she asked about a lot of the things that I have been doing, you know, teaching and starting up the nonprofit, going to conferences and writing papers and all of these things. And she was asking me about those, and I told her, you know, I'm not teaching. I put the nonprofit on hold, and really I'm just trying to simplify my life. And I told her why I did that. And it's because I feel like for the past, what is it, like 2, almost 3 years, I've just been running and running and running and running, trying to get, I don't know where. And so I'm gonna stop running. So this has been good for me to slow down and to stop and to start asking myself, like, what is my ultimate purpose and goal? And also realizing that even if I'm not running, even if I'm not doing things that seem really impressive to other people, I guess what I'm trying to say is I've realized that I don't have to justify my existence to anybody. And so I'm gonna stop living my life like that and worrying about the past and fretting about the future. And I'm trying to be present in the moment and get to know myself. And that's really what I'm trying to get out of everything I'm doing at the moment. But anyway, the mindfulness walk was great. I enjoyed it. I am still working on practicing mindfulness every day. I hope that all of you are doing well. If you haven't already, I hope that you will check out my entry for the Talk Talk Korea contest. I think the views might play a part in who wins that contest. So any extra views you would want to help me give that video, I would appreciate. But thank you for joining me on my channel. For those of you who are new on this channel, I try new things to help me improve my self-esteem. Feel free to subscribe. I try and post videos every week, but with school and everything starting up, I'm giving myself some leniency with that schedule, but I will still try and do new things every week. Anyway, thank you again for joining me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.